Would you like to play something for us?
No.
It's time for Conversations with Lola Montez.
Oh, yeah. I'm Blake Scapino. I'm a guitar player, songwriter, producer, miscreant. So my journey in Nashville started around springtime in 2016, and I basically came here to get hired as a guitar player, which happened, and I lived in the basement of my friend Charlie's house. He was cool enough to let me into, even though we didn't really know each other a whole lot at the time. Charlie is Charlie Treat, and if you live in Nashville and you play music around town, then you might know who he is. And he's a real cool dude, real talented songwriter, producer, artist, and he just attracts a lot of cool people.
Really, just always open.
Creative, artistic endeavors.
Grows his own vegetables in his front yard. Yeah.
New friendships, and just a great guy all around. Through some real cool people, I got some road gigs pretty right off the bat, and started touring with local country acts out of Nashville. Eventually weaseled my way into the original music scene.
Somebody who's very driven. You went out all the time trying to meet people and make things happen. Really, with your...
In the summer of 2016, it was just like sweltering heat every day, all day, and I would just basically walk out the door and just walk downtown, meet people, basically, and just accost local musicians who are taking their breaks. If you're a lousy human being, then you'll have a hard time with that. But if you're not, then your job is to make friends. Just be cool. None of it really matters. You're basically just trying to meet people, period.
You don't know how those relationships will pan out or what they'll mean 3 months, 6 months, 3 years, you know? You just have to kind of go on.
We all had a mutual friend named Bev Bradley, and she was the one who connected me to a lot of musicians in Nashville. Inga Rudin, and our drummer, Kurt Petra. And a whole bunch of other people as well. The life that I have in Nashville, I owe to Bev. Just basically pre-pro'd a bunch of material. Basically, us just taking all the material we had, recording it for real, with real drums, guitars, vocals. I did the bass tracks.
Some of which was recorded back in Charlie's basement. Any shout-outs? We pressed an EP, and we had our first show, I think, on November 1st, 2017, at Cobra.
Flesh Eater, Ellen Drive.
Yes.
Somebody goes out of their way to show us some love when they don't have to.
I always take that to heart, for sure. Because we all know what it's like to be a fan.
The band-fan relationship is give and take from both sides.
In order for it to be really great and go on forever, there has to be this equal balance where both a fan and a band can feel like they're giving something up for the other, and it's about appreciating each other. And so when people dig our music, or they like something we did, they like a video, and they say so, like, that's way cool. Because they don't have to. The internet is virtually infinite in its vastness.
You could be doing a billion other things with the time you have in a day where you're surfing.
And you found me, you found my band. You gave a damn for a second. You checked it out. You thought it was cool. You told me. I think that's cool.
Everything about playing an instrument really needs to just serve the higher purpose of self-expression.
The only reason we work on technique is so that it allows us to express something inside us that needs a certain proficiency or technique physically to kind of get out, for us to say it properly.
And sometimes technique is subjective.
There's simply no gold standard.
Technique is a relative term. That could be anything. So even though there's technical aspects to my guitar playing, it's really only serving the whole
purpose of writing music that's exciting and fulfilling to me.
And then my band, and then somebody who hears it on the web. That's really the only goal. I do miss that, but I don't miss it when it's not right, and there's many reasons why.
Part of what's interesting about this year and how it coincided with our approach as a band for 2020 is that we didn't really have to choose, even though we already did. COVID sort of coincided with us choosing not to hit the road as much as we were in 18 and 19. So that's obviously, of course, a coincidence.
I miss the good times, but I'm not sad, because again, all that stuff exists in the past. They're memories, they're nice, but they don't serve me in each passing moment. So the more I get attached to memories, because like we were talking about life and death, the more I'm a slave to my past life, which only serves me less and less. So it's kind of futile holding on to those memories. Thoughtful, sensitive, fake, some super fake. Basically my philosophy on life and music. If I had to sum it up, I guess I would say that
we're all gonna die. That's a fatal disease. There's no getting out of it.
You can't take it with you. The only thing you could enjoy is really the present moment. So the odds are that most of us will live a long life, which is too long to be miserable, but too short to get attached to any one thing in this material world that's really just transient. I mean, it'll just be in your life and then it'll leave. Or being a slave to it will cause you problems, and you won't be free, and life's too short for that.
So basically, it's finding this balance of giving yourself to things, projects, relationships that kind of just increase in value as you go and bring you joy and happiness to your life during the time that you're actually living it. Not in the past, not in the future, because those don't exist. Now, and now, and now, and now, and now. You're only ever experiencing every present moment as it's happening. That's all you have. So, your memories basically, they're to keep you from walking into the same rose bush and, bleeding to death from brushing against the thorns, repeatedly, And the future is nice to keep in mind, to plan for certain things, but you have to reel that in sometimes because you don't know what's going to happen. And I don't think people, even in 2019, most people didn't think that 2020 was going to be what it was. Animals' revenge on humans.
So with music, I mean, it doesn't have to be music. It could be anything. You know, it could be if you're into sports, if you're into tech, if you're into, I don't care, you know, nature, science.
Audio engineering has been a big part of my life, but it's always seemed to be at odds with my guitar playing life. And I've kind of had to reconcile that over the years, and either choose one over the other or find a way to make both sort of coexist in my world, which is never easy, especially when you're doing band stuff like full on. So this year I was able to reconcile all that and embrace the audio engineering part of my life in a more holistic way that suits me artistically but also functionally. And it's not just doing things because I think it's a more responsible thing to do in the music realm, but rather that it's just as artistic as songwriting and band stuff.
The outlook is just more expansive. It's
Almost infinite, the things that any artist could do, whether they're self-produced or not. So for my part, doing stuff with Lola, doing stuff with friends, doing stuff that's just me, but with a certain intent, with a certain moniker, a certain project of my own, as well as various remix projects through various electronic labels and stuff like that. It's all fun, because it just makes it a whole mixed bag of different stuff to do in the mixing world that's also heavily artistic as well.
I'm looking forward to the very next moment. Do it because you love it.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
And?